Sometimes as I travel, people ask me, why do we help the poor in other countries when we have poor here in the United States? Well, the answer is pretty straightforward. You see, in the United States, we have a government which is of a developed nation that has resources. There is a huge middle class here that pays taxes and therefore supports the expenditure of the government. This, for the most part, does not exist in our countries. But because the government here is supported by taxes, they can afford to have a lot of programs. When a person here falls to rock bottom, they will get a check from welfare. They will get food stamps to help feed their children. Public schooling here is free of cost. Within those public schools, there are government programs for free lunch for students that come from disadvantaged homes. Then, of course, within the home, there is government subsidized rent. And also, there is Medicaid that takes care of all the medical expenses of those families that fall below a certain level of income. Whereas in our countries, none of these benefits exist. There are none of these nets that help to break the fall when someone is plunging into poverty. Also in these countries, there is a very small number of very wealthy people, almost no middle class, and a huge number of the poor. So there are very few taxes to feed the government for the government to be able to help at all. So we also have a separate situation altogether. In the United States, we have 1.8 million nonprofit organizations, and of these, only less than 24,000 are actually international. So the large majority of the over 1.8 million organizations are helping people who need help here in the United States of America. So we have this wonderful country here that is fortunate to have all this help. So we have directed our attention to countries that are not quite so fortunate, where the government is not as wealthy and therefore not able to help as much as the government is here, and where they're not anywhere near the number of organizations that are able to help the poor in these countries.